So, it was Sunday, August 3rd. My plan was to get there early. Hopefully, the Saturday night game was still going on and I could jump into that. But as I got there, they were opening a new must move table as the Saturday night game was still full. So there I was, at the must move game. Not only the first hand I see, but also the very first hand at this new table begins with the low jack opening to $30 and... Oh god. It's too early for this. Me raising from the button with the hand that shall not be named. The low jack is a pretty tight European pro, so when he comes with the first hand open, followed by a 4-bet, I know that I'm in big trouble. I call the $320 and pray. 10, 10, 6 with 2 clubs. My prayers aren't answered. He continues for $220, but as you can see, I'm already done with this hand. Not the best start. About 1 orbit later, a hand begins with the under the gun player limping, the low jack limping, and the hijack then raising to $50. My hope is that if I call here in the big blind with 8-6 of diamonds, the limpers will follow suit, and then I'll flop a straight flush and win millions. That's the hope. I call, and the limpers do in fact follow suit. My plan, so far, is working nicely. 8-7-7 with 1 diamond. Not exactly a straight flush, but not rubbish either. This shouldn't be a flop many pre-flop raisers will be excited to see. I check, and this flop gets checked through. The turn 9 of diamonds reignites my straight flush dreams. I take the lead by betting $80. The first limper folds, and the low jack does some chip dances, then slides in a call, and the hijack gets out of there too. Heads up. A river 5 of diamonds would be nice, but instead, I must settle for a 5 of spades. Good enough. I slide $200 into the middle with my rivered straight, and the low jack tanks. Then surprisingly raises to $600. Oh Lord. I know that bluff river raises don't really exist in this game, especially not during the day. I'm 15 minutes into this game and what is going on? He's repping a full house, but how? I'm blocking pocket 8s. He didn't turn a full house and not raise to get value from a 7, and he's not calling the turn with pocket 5s. So what is this? If I lose, I lose, but I just don't see it. I call. He says, nice hand, and tosses his into the muck. Okay. The river bluff raise is in play now. Got it.
I was trying to find the full house. I was like, where's the full house?
1 hand later, I get tapped to move to the main game, which oddly enough is the same game I had left the night before. I joined the table right in time to see that massacre happen with pocket 5s versus pocket 6s. I personally don't play any hands in my first orbit. Now it's my big blind. I see the button open to $30 and... You've got to be kidding me. This is a joke, right? I make it $150 to go in order to get the pain started on the right foot, but this hand goes no further than that. The only other hand I get into from this god-forsaken seat is this one. The hijack opens to $40 and my friend Breno flats from the button. I look down at ace-queen of spades from the small blind. I know, it's out of focus, but it's ace-queen of spades. And I squeeze to $150. The result of this is both players calling the extra $110. 3 ways we head to a flop of 8-6 queen rainbow. Holding top pair is great, but a flop like this may give a little something to everyone. So I'm not out of the woods yet. I continue for another $150 and the hijack folds. We don't lose Breno though. From the button, he calls. The turn 9 of clubs doesn't excite me, and playing against an opponent that isn't afraid to attempt to take pots away leans me towards checking here, like I'd probably do with ace-king. I check, but he doesn't take the bait. It gets checked through. The 3 of hearts is a nothing, and now I have to decide if I want to check again and pray that he bluffs, or if I want to bet something that someone like him might take as a bluff and try to hero call. I choose the latter and announce $450, but he snap folds without any thought on the matter. Shortly after this hand, I take an opportunity to move to the recently vacated 7 seat.
Come closer, my young ones, and I shall tell you a tale of our hero, on a night when fortune and patience were his greatest allies.
It's been a while, so feed the horses and hide your daughters. We are back.
The pot was straddled to 20 gold when our hero, seated in the hijack, glanced upon his cards and beheld a sight most regal, 2 queens, as fair and powerful as the crown upon my head. The lowjack, a cautious but prideful baron, dared raise but to 40. Then our hero, with the confidence of a seasoned warrior, raises the stakes to 160. From the shadows, the small blind, an unknown knight of curious intent, met this challenge without fear. The lowjack, unwilling to cede, followed him into battle. Thus, 3 warriors strode forth to the field. Upon the flop, the cards revealed themselves. The king, the jack, and the 8, with 2 black spades, lurking like hidden assassins. Both the small blind and the lowjack bowed low in check, and though our hero sensed danger in the king's glare, he too stayed his sword. Then, the Queen of Diamonds descended upon the turn like a royal decree from the heavens, crowning our hero with near-certain victory.
Yes, that's awesome! Our hero showed patience and was rewarded handsomely.
Oh, brother!
Is she serious?
Yet the small blind, unaware of the doom that awaited, struck first. 120 gold into the fray. The lowjack, wise enough to see the snare, withdrew from the field. But our hero, now emboldened, raised his banner to 400. The small blind, though puzzled, matched the call, leaving but 1,100 coins in his purse. The river came, a humble 2 of hearts, neither danger nor aid. The small blind checked, his eyes quietly pleading for mercy. But my hero, as is his way in the heat of battle, gave none. He pressed forth with all his remaining coin.
All in.
All in.
The small blind thought long, as if counting the very grains of sand in the royal hourglass, before at last tossing his king and jack into the muck, his ambitions undone. And thus, children, my lord proved once more, in the great game, victory belongs not only to those who wield strength, but to those who wait for the perfect moment to let it strike.
Perfect moment to strike?
He got lucky and hit a 2-outer is all.
It's the small blind who should be celebrated.
And for a moment this summer, I had missed you lot.
This next one begins with the under the gun 2 player opening the $30, and the player in the small blind, who I played with last night and has played through the night, 3 bets to 120. Having a decent sense of his game and being able to bank on him having big pairs or a hand like ace-king, I find a cold call from the big blind with 7-6 of hearts. The under the gun 2 player folds, so it's just us blinds headed to the flop. I couldn't ask for much better than calling a 3-bet out of the big blind and being served the 6, 4, 5 spade heart spade board. I imagine that this board isn't very comfortable for a chunk of the small blind's pre-flop 3-betting range. He checks. I, on the other hand, am very comfortable. I choose a size of $130 and slide that into the middle, and seconds later, he folds. I was opening a lot of hands from late position this session, and was mostly profitable purely doing that. In this one, I opened Queen Deuce of Clubs from the cutoff, and I got the sense that the button was, well, he had enough of it. He 3-bets to $110. I show him my deuce and sheepishly fold. You got me. I'm the low jack here and open 6-5 of hearts to $30 and action folds around to the blinds. And they both find calls. Deuce, deuce, 10 with 1 heart. No one seems really excited about this flop, especially me. And when it's checked over to me, I just check it back. The turn king of hearts does excite me though. Not only is it a second heart, but repping that king from my low jack opening position is doable. $50. The small blind believes my story, and he folds. Bruno and the big blind, not so much. So we head to the river, heads up. Another 10. Disaster. He now leads small for $20. I can't call, obviously. And folding, well, you can't win like that. So that leaves raise. I raised to $90 purely just looking for him to fold something like queen high or pocket sixes. He thinks about this for a few seconds before sliding in that extra $70 for a call. I just muck. He asks me if I had 9 high.
9 high?
No. 6 high. 5, 6 of hearts. I was like trying to get you to fold like pocket sevens. Yeah, definitely wasn't getting a king to fold. If I can get sevens to fold, all right. That's what I actually thought. He's not going to fold 8, so he might fold sevens. I'm just going to make it 90 rather than 100. Save $10. You'd have folded sevens, right? You'd have folded, yeah. What I really wanted was the emotional win from like a slow fold. I don't want a snap fold. I wanted you to slow fold. Yeah. Like, oh, snap fold isn't satisfying at all. As we go deeper into the morning, I'm really just focusing on attempting to exploit whatever chinks I see in the other player's armors. Here the button opens to $30, and I have him pegged as a player that overfolds. On top of that, he's been playing all night and has finally bounced back from a bad start and is now up for the session. Those types typically don't want to play gigantic pots without having it. I 3-bet from the small blind to $140 with ace-jack offsuit, and he calls. Fine. 6, 4, 8 rainbow. I start with a check. This really isn't my flop. In fact, this flop kinda sucks. He checks this back, so instantly I know that I can pretty safely take out a large chunk of pairs from his range. The turn brings the queen of hearts, so now this part is sort of a jump ball. Yeah, I have a lot of queens in my 3-betting range, but the button should have a lot of queens in his 3-bet defense range too. So now I just gotta lean into my theory that he's overfolding and then land on bet. $130. I get a quick fold. Okay. Sometimes I can go overboard with the he overfolds thing. I often forget to factor into the equation my image. Like here, I open the button with ace-deuce offsuit, which I should probably just fold, but whatever. Both blinds call. All I know about the big blind is that he's been tight so far this session. However, the small blind is my old baccarat teacher. Him, I know. 9, 6, jack, rainbow. There's no betting on this street. Just a round of checks. 8 of hearts on the turn. Still no bets go in, but this card is interesting to me because I'm holding the ace of hearts. 10 of hearts on the river. The small blind checks, and then the big blind checks, and here I am with ace high on this uber straightening board and I have the nut flush blocker. I find an overbet and toss $140 into the pot. There's a slight pause, then the small blind calls. Damn it. I turn over just the ace of hearts and he says, "That's it?"
That's it?
And shows me a set of eights.
Sneaky bastard. That's it? That's it? That's it? And a set of eights. That's it?
During this session, I'm playing poker, but I'm also doing a ton of fidgeting around with my recording settings on my camera, just changing this and changing that to discover what does what. Here, right in the middle of my fidgeting, I pick up pocket kings in the hijack and open to $30. The button calls, as does the big blind. Queen, queen, 7, rainbow. The big blind checks, and I decide to slide my kings into a check as well, instead of trying to get 3 streets of value. The button checks too, so 3 of us see a turn, which is the 6 of hearts. Now the big blind leads for $60. I hadn't seen him play a ton of hands up to this point, and I'm obviously worried about him having some random queen, so I just call his lead. The button folds. The river is the 3 of clubs and the big blind checks. I don't see many people checking a queen here because, as a whole, the population doesn't bluff rivers enough to make that profitable. So I'm feeling pretty good with my kings, and I decide to eke out a little more value. I bet $100. A few seconds later, the big blind check raises this bet to $330. Interesting. Like I said, I hadn't seen him play much. Maybe he has a queen. Maybe he backed into a straight. Hard to know. I err on the side of caution and just fold my kings. He windmills Jack 3 of hearts into the middle of the table. Well, I didn't see that coming. Nice hand, sir. Nice hand. About 20 minutes later, one of the more interesting hands of the night begins with the low jack limping in. Holding a monster like pocket 3s, I can't let that stand, so from the hijack, I bump it up to $40. The button calls, and everyone else, including the limping low jack, folds, and we head to the flop heads up. 3, 10, 8 with 2 clubs. Well, this doesn't suck. Or does it? I check, and the button decides to add an additional $30 to the pot. I think a check raise is in order. I make it $120. The button pauses, then decides a bet 3 bet is in order and raises it up to $430. Uh-oh. Did I just step into it? My first thought is obviously that I've run into a set, but he also could have some monster combo draws here. I mean, it's possible. My hand is just too good to fold. I mean, it's the 3rd nuts, for God's sake. I call. Everything changes on the turn. And I mean everything. It's the 3 of spades. Now I'm praying that he has a full house and not the monster draw. I check it over to the flop bet 3 better, but he checks it back. My hopes of him having a full house are dwindling. The river is the jack of clubs. I like that. Some of his big draws might have just improved. I tank on this street for a while, deciding between betting small or just going for a big chunk by targeting his big holdings. You don't often see the flop bet 3 bet, so I decide he must have a pretty big hand. I bet $800 and wait while he decides what to do.
Uh-huh. I did? What'd you have, 2 pair? Yeah? Then I got unlucky on the turn. Quads. I swear.
No way. Really?
I can show you.
Maybe I got lucky.
What'd you have, 10-8? Yeah. I was still mad for folding my kings to his damn jack 3 of hearts.
I like 5-10 here.
I like 5-10 there. I like the ante.
I like 2-5.
Yeah. I haven't played 2-5 over there in a while.
Before I moved to 5-10, straight 5. No,
You seem like a good 2-5 player.
that's where it starts.
That's a fucked up thing to say, dude.
Yeah, it's a compliment.
Hey,
Where do you get all these fucking things, man?
Is that gonna appear in the vlog?
Stays up like 10 minutes every night, writing down fucking the shitty beach building.
It's a compliment.
I'm spending money like I just got paid. $100 bills, tell them keep the change. Come on. Pop a bottle, about to make it rain. Let me give you something now to celebrate. Come on. And if you're wondering why I move the way I do, I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, 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 I just feel so good. I see the world through my thrift store shades, rose-colored lenses and a fake gold frame. Come on. Playing old rock songs on an air guitar, posing for your picture like a superstar. Yeah, come on. And if you're wondering why I move the way I do, I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, I just feel so good, good, good. Oh, I just feel so good, good.
So this is one of those rare occurrences where I didn't film any post-session talking to the camera ridiculousness, so you'll just have to settle for this. I was in the session for 2400 and out for 4900, and things went pretty smoothly overall, and I'm not even mad at myself for folding kings. It happens. So if you like the vlogs like you know the drill.